Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
So today we are on Wendy's channel and we are taking a break. We're taking a crafting break and we are crafting we're taking a break from selling. So hopefully you guys are taking a break too. So what are you working on today, Wendy?
I am. No, I'm trying to get my phone to catch up. There we go. I am. I purchased a kit from Spectrum Art Creations to get involved, and the kit comes with a little how-to class, and it's going to be sometime today. I'm not exactly positive when. I may have to catch it on a replay, but that's okay. It's a kit that comes from Simple Stories. Does that read correctly? Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to wait till it pops up on my little screen.
I think it does.
And it does. Wow. This is so backwards for me. Anyway, Simple Stories. They are really a wonderful, it's a kit that comes, and it's like how to make these, I think it's 6 cards or 8 cards, and there's different combinations you can use, and all these bits and pieces, and it's just really fun, and I loved the colors, and I just wanted something easy. The lovely thing about Simple Stories is all of their stuff is what we call there's no fussy cutting, so you don't have to cut around the lines. It all punches right out. So all I did was punch all of this stuff out of the paper, and I didn't have to cut anything. The only cutting I did was I did take some scissors on the long pieces, and I did just kind of smooth out where it punched out. My lighting is not exactly perfect. I still want to work on that. I might move the camera around just a smidge to see if we can do any better. It also comes with the instruction sheet on how to make each combination of card. So wow, there are cards on each side. That's 8 cards in here. I didn't realize. So yesterday, day before yesterday, I punched them out, and then yesterday I went and I did crafting at my friend Christine's house. We call it Wednesdays with Wendy. We don't have a show for it yet or anything, but if I thought I could set one up there, I just might. Who knows what the future holds when it comes to crafting shows with me. And I did I distressed or colored the edges. So this has got a vintage photograph color going around the edge to just kind of make it look a little, I can't figure out how to do this with the camera like that. We'll figure it out. We're getting there. We'll figure it out.
Oh, hi Danielle.
Hi Danielle. Good to see you. So yeah, I just kind of distressed the edges so they didn't look white anymore. It kind of blends it in, gives it something. A couple of them I actually put color on. So I put like blue and purple on these 2 around the edges. There we go. Away from that light. That's how I do that. We're getting there. Maybe it's the light that needs to move.
Danielle, now I'm obsessed about deers like you. I'm obsessed about looking for deers now.
I've got that white deer on mine. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting ready for the class. So I'm kind of doing the edges. Yesterday I also put some embossing powder on some of the words, and so I made the black words just nice and shiny. And so yeah, I'm just getting ready to put a kit together. So hopefully I'm actually prepared for the class, because most of the time when I do these little, hey, we're gonna get together and I'm going to show you how to do these things, I'm only half prepared.
So is that a private crafting class, or?
I I am not positive. I can't remember. I don't think it's a private class. I think she's going to have it just on her Spectrum Art Creations YouTube channel, YouTube channel site, but I am not positive. I cannot remember, and I may not. At this point, I can't even find the time for it, so I'm not sure.
Ooh.
It may be one of those things you can just. She has a lot of classes and demos that you can just go to the web to go to her YouTube channel, Spectrum Art Creations, and you can watch demos on different products, and you can watch and you can find out all about the products and different things they have. They're fun. And classes. They also have a Facebook site, Facebook page.
Whose package did you get, Danielle? Is it Wendy's or mine?
Packages. It sounds like she got both of them yesterday, which just is so much more fun when you get them all in one day. I love having so many packages. Woo-hoo. You know, when you get to a certain point, you get to a certain, I don't know. Packages don't happen the older you get. Does that make any sense? Surprise gifts from just out of nowhere. I don't know. I guess the older I got, the less people I stayed in contact with, because I have an issue. They call it avoidant personality disorder, and I really just don't do well all the time in groups of people. The fact that I actually participate so much in the Spectrum Art Creations. Oh, good, Danielle.
Did the kids have fun opening up the boxes?
This is. I was very withdrawn for a long time, and this is some of the most out there. Involved. There we go. Involved. I've been in things in a long time. Oh boy. Okay. That's what I'm doing right now here in the background as I lean backwards. Is I'm taking these little strips before I do the coloring around the edges. I'm taking these little ticket pieces and such and ephemera bits, and I'm just trimming off that tiny little nub where it was connected to the main page.
Oh, that's good, Danielle. I'm glad they had fun.
Good. Okay.
Not turning out how I want it to turn out. Okay, time to paint, I guess.
I actually have a little project on the side here. I don't know if I'll get to it or not. It might be one of those video things. I'm really trying to focus on this little project because I have that thing coming up for it, and then I need to focus on my fall and Halloween decorations real quick. I don't have a lot of them. There's just one or two items. It's like last year, I think you guys saw some wreaths, maybe on my Instagram, that I had put together, and I just had all of that stuff loosely stuck in, and so it was never all glued together. The wreath is currently hanging upstairs in a closet. Needs to be brought down, glued together, and put out for display. So that's what has to happen after this, and then we're gonna go right back into the Christmas decorating stuff. But that's my kind of little project. And I do have some other paper stuff to show you guys in a little while when I need a little break from this. And this is some of the parts and pieces I was going to be cutting, die cutting, and putting available for sale.
Are you dressing up for Halloween too, Danielle? Like, take the kiddos to trick-or-treating? Wendy, do you have trick-or-treaters?
Sometimes. Some years are better than others. We put our light on, but it's been a long time since, and one would think we would get more. We live very close to a school. Actually very close to 4 schools. It's can't go anywhere without having to drive in a 20-mile-an-hour zone around here. It's one reason why I don't mind having a car that doesn't like to go real fast. My car I can't take on the freeway. It's got some rear end issues.
What,
I can
Danielle?
fall out. Huh?
No, I was like, Danielle, you need to dress up for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Or at least put on a headband. Put on a fun
One year, I needed to dress up, and I had recently gotten a Kermit hat. So, frog hat or a Kermit hat or something like that. And it was green, it had eyes on it. So I put that hat on, and then I had this dark green, warm, corduroy jacket thing. And I put that on, and I said, I'm going as Kermit the Frog, or I'm going as a frog. So, I mean, you can do really simple things and still dress up. I have those pajamas. I have one set that was a cat, and then I had one set that was a dragon, and I did each one of those different years. The pajamas that make you look like you're dressed up. It doesn't take.
Like a onesie?
Yeah. I have the dragon one still. I think I got rid of the cat one because it really didn't fit me. But I think I still have the dragon one because, well, hello, dragon and tail, and I will still do. I don't care if I have to stuff that thing and make it a live one or a full size whatever. Those can't make up their minds yet. Oh, such difficult decisions at a young age.
Yes, there's so many options. Do they get to dress up at school too? That was always fun. I see little kids dressed up at the store now. When I go grocery shopping, they're in their little costumes at the store for Halloween. It's so fun.
I worked at a grocery store for a while, and it happened to be during Halloween, and I was a cashier, and I worked not only Halloween but the day before Halloween, and I had so many little fun things I wanted to wear. I decided that the day before I was dressing up as the pixie Halloween Eve pixie. I was the pixie who helped bring Halloween.
Cute.
I had wings and I had things in my hair, and I just, oh yeah. I think I even had a tutu or two on.
Oh. Danielle, you know what would be funny? Wendy has tutus. You should put them on your chickens.
Yeah, we have tutus for dogs. I wonder if they'd fit your chickens. Oh, dressing
That
up
would
the
be fun.
chickens. I think we painted the toenails on one of my grandmother's chickens one year. We had them all named. She had a duck. The duck's name, I named the duck Love. They had an Americana chicken with a funny little top knot on its head. We named it Boy George.
Ah, cute.
She had one of her ducks that, and I don't know if this is standard with a mallard, but she had this mallard duck, and every time it would molt, not every time it would molt, but multiple times it would molt, and then so it would molt, and then it would be a boy duck. It would have the ring around its neck.
Yeah.
And then it would molt, and there would be no ring, and it would molt into like female feathers. And then a while later, it would molt again, and it would molt back into male feathers. And it's like, what the heck is going on with this duck? So yeah, we had duck issues. I had duck questions when I was younger. All right. I brought out my I try and take swatches when I buy things. And one of the big things I try and swatch embossing powders as I get them. And I noticed I was looking in my book the other day, in my swatch book. I have like 52 different colors of embossing powders.
That's a lot.
I know. And yet there are colors I am missing. There are things within this system I am missing.
But do you even use them all?
Oh yes. Oh yes. So I just got done going through using the shiny black last night. And actually I'll show it to you. This is number 26 on my list. This is the brand. I have no idea if this is still made any longer. It says embossing powder. Ooh. TSUKINEK. I am not going to begin to try and pronounce this. It's out of Redmond, Washington, which is just north of me. There we go. Look at focused. I'm so proud. And this is their number 7 black. I got a large, so my embossing powder collection started when I was very young. My grandmother got me into stamping, and I had like silver and gold from that. And I used those for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, I still have them and I still use them. Then I would find a couple here and there, maybe at a thrift store. And then I went to a garage sale where I purchased a large amount of embossing powders for a very, very good price. And that's what really enhanced my selection. Got a couple of them. I think I got the glow in the dark and the honeycomb from Spectrum. I was very happy when I got them. I think, as a matter of fact, that might have been one of my first purchases from them. I really, really enjoy enjoy them immensely. And I know I probably talk about them too much, but I don't mind a little. I'll promote somebody. It's not a paid promotion. I don't get paid for it. They don't give me anything extra for talking good about them. But I just really enjoy what they've got going and how they really want everyone to participate and be inclusive and just a happy place to craft. Now, let's see. I know they have a planned layout for some of these things, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stick to all of them. I'm kind of rebellious that way.
Well, you should just do what you like.
I usually do. Did like that one with that one. I would like to find a way to make my camera zoom. Wonder if there's a zoom on my camera. I will have to explore that for next time. I'm very happy though. I've got it set up so the cords aren't in my way.
You can't bring it closer?
Oh, I can bring the camera closer? It would be difficult.
Oh.
I can bring the cards closer. And then I'll have to do a little adjusting with the light. There.
Do you like crafting, Danielle? Or whoever else is in the chat watching us?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I'm running out of space.
So what I sat back here doing yesterday, last night I should say, was making these shiny with the black embossing powder. So I did this
That
one.
turned out really good.
Did the U and Celebrate You. I did this piece. It's meant to look like a piece of film strip, and I did all the black edges of the film strip. Made them all nice and shiny. Oh, there's a good view of it. Nice and shiny. Shiny, shiny. And there's the word beautiful. Lots of amazing sentiments. I call them words. People call them sentiments. Then there's some chipboard pieces that go, some chipboard elements that go with them, so they're a little thicker. And I also, if it had the words, these were more difficult to do on the chipboard because they were glossy, and my embossing pen didn't. It kind of puddled, and it just made a little tiny puddle strip. So it's a little bit more haphazard on the embossing. I need to get something up behind it, but there we go. A little more haphazard on the embossing powder, but
I see.
It's kind of an intensive thing. I've got to admit, when I did this one, it's not on the chipboard, but it's on paper. After I would take the pen, I would draw where I wanted the powder to stick. I would sprinkle the powder on. I would knock the extra off. I would use a paintbrush to kind of wipe the stuff off the large sections where I didn't want it. But when it came down to, this worked perfectly. I was so happy it worked perfectly. I have fingernail silicone tools for doing decorating fingernails or doing whatever. There's lots of different tools, ways to be using these silicone tools these days. So a little tiny silicone tool, I would take it in, I would go right into the little spot and I would go squidge, squidge, squidge. I would make sure the edges were where I wanted them, and I'd line up the edge and I just wipe it down, keeping it where I wanted it, and cleaning the little tip as I went so that I could keep a nice clean edge. And that's what helped. It's still a little wiggy woggy, but it definitely helped keep a cleaner edge for me. So it's amazing. Tools that were meant to be used for other things are just amazingly amazing for other things as well. Finding new uses. Let's see. Well, we talked about using these cups, didn't we? I've actually been using them.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I was putting little paper bits in here. I need to separate out all these little bits after I decorate them so that I can just reach in and grab what I need when I need it. And I have these little drawers I've been using as well from these little tiny containers I have in front, these little 3-drawer sets. So we're just a little bit at a time getting it ready to... I also like that they stack without having to have the rack around them, at least a couple of it together. All right, let's get to coloring these things. So I wanted to lay these out to see which colors, like the purple and the blue. I've set the stamp pads out over here on the other side of the colors I was using. And I wanted to lay out the ones I had done so that I can kind of coordinate. Okay, I've already done like this in purple and this one in blue. Well, now if I have something closer like to it, should I do it in a different tone, a different shade? I've got 6 different stamp pads I'm working with. I've got Distressed Ink Salty Ocean from Tim Holtz. I have Distressed Ink Wilted Violet. And then I have Distress Oxides, which will be Pink Raspberry, Rusty Hinge, Vintage Photo. And then for the yellow, when I want to get a nice little yellowy going that I can then... So this one I did with a yellow edge. So it kind of made the light blue almost look green. And then the white of the... Here we go. Then the white of the papers on the inside, it made them look like aged, like yellowed aged, instead of brown Vintage Photo aged. So just different ways of making colors work together and work for you instead of against you. So let's see. This has already got some pink and the blue on it. I need my camera in a different location. Once again, I will find a new camera angle for crafting. Selling, I think I've got figured out, but it looks like crafting, I've got to find a different little angle for it. I think I'm gonna go vintage on that one. I use the dauber system, and then I have the little things. And since this is a Velcro that they stick with, I went through and I found some Velcro dots that I have, and I just put the squinchy side on the container lid, and then it's easy to keep its own thing with the right color, the right foam blotter with the right color. So just one of those little tips for organization, which is really difficult for me. Like, one of my hardest things. You should see my surroundings. Okay, unmute yourself and tell me please what you are making.
I was just painting I'm painting earring backings. Because usually what I do is I put those flathead buttons or something on here, the design. Yeah. So I just need to paint some for the holiday so I could do my Christmas line.
I understand.
So it takes a little time. I would have used a paintbrush, but I couldn't find mine. So that's okay. But those need to dry. And now I'm working on my little Christmas assemblage.
Ooh. See, people wonder why crafters have so many projects going at once. Because you gotta let things dry, and you cannot have idle hands while you wait for things to dry. You must either move on to another point in that project, or you must wait and move on to something else. I like that back.
Yeah, I made it, but no. I should have marked where I had the holes. Oh well. I could re-drill them. Yeah, so I took some vintage ribbon that I had that's plaid, and then this is some Tim Holtz paper right here, so like his wallpaper. And then what I need to do is eventually I'm gonna drill a hole, I think in the top, like this, so you can hang it.
Nice. I like that little piece of foliage for hanging it. That's brilliant.
And then I need to find my Christmas ornaments and stuff. Because I have a little house.
Oh,
little lantern.
Nice.
Stick there. So if anyone is watching and you're crafting, let us know what you're crafting. Or if you're just sitting back and chilling out with us, we appreciate that too. Ooh, I almost should make some... Maybe I should make some old books for it to sit under.
Oh yes, a little stack of old books to sit under. Yes, yes.
That would be cool.
That would be excellent. A brilliant idea. Yes, because you need light to read books by. So I did the edge on this one, but because it's a calendar and it's supposed to be older, I'm going to even tint the inside of it a little more. I just don't think it's as dark as I would like it to be for being a calendar from 1883.
Was that paper that you bought?
What I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a card kit from Simple Stories.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a whole kit. They provide everything, and like I said, you don't have to fussy cut, which is doing all that teeny tiny, like cutting around the flower bunch. I would have never survived cutting this out of paper. But luckily, it's a no fussy cut punch out system, and the only thing you have to worry about cutting, even if you want, is the teeny tiny little nubbins on the edge of the paper where it was connected to the main sheet. Yeah, I made that just a bit darker. Oh, that fits right there nicely. Just trying to keep my color coordination intact. So much pink. Let's get that a little yellow. Got all those other colors, and the yellow is a little muted. So let's add a little yellow highlight for that one. That'll be nice. It just seems like such a bright, shiny, a bright and happy card set. I know fall is coming. This feels like my last summer hurrah before it's time to get full on into the seasons. Even though I'm sitting out here in my robe because it's cold here. Of course, I'm also very temperature sensitive, and anything below 70 degrees is cold for me.
I love anything cold.
So you'll start to see me bundled up a whole lot more. And I'm hoping that the little heater system idea I have worked out in here will work. You may, on one of these crafting things, see me sewing, because I'm going to have to, I'm working in a really little kind of an alley section in my garage, and there's a way to block it so that I can attempt to contain my heat within this smaller area. So I will be, I may need to be creating curtains or heavy draperies to provide that insulating. Oh yeah, who knows what's next? Oh, I do love yellows and purples together. I really do. Let me show you that. So the round one has a purple tint, and I just put a yellow. Let's tilt. Okay, we're gonna make an attempt. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna give you a little turn. See if this helps a little, at least for showing. So yeah, you can see the little yellow highlight on that, and then the purple on the round one, and the yellow on the straight with the polka dots. And they really look good lying together, so that makes me happy. I subscribed to something and I don't know what I subscribed to, and they just keep giving me alerts, and I don't think it's the alerts I'm looking for, so I may have to unsubscribe. I'm anxiously awaiting the new Doctor Who's. I am a massive Doctor Who fan. I really...
I saw them bring David Tennant back for one of the episodes.
3 episodes, 60th anniversary special. I am absolutely awesome. He was my first doctor that I really watched. And then I watched back to Christopher Eccleston and continued forward. And it is a real toss-up for me who is my favorite doctor. It is between David Tennant and Matt Smith. As much as I love Peter Capaldi, I really did love Peter Capaldi. I am massive fan. I am a massive fan now of Matt Smith's acting in general. I love him in everything. I find it awesome that he has started, after playing the Doctor, a good guy, for so long. He now plays. His characters tend to be more on the evil side, shall we say?
Yeah, but he's good.
Oh, I know. I absolutely love him. And then David Tennant as in Good Omens with Michael Sheen, I think is his name. And then they did this whole thing during the pandemic because they are like best friends. They did this whole staged. It's called Staged. They did it during the pandemic, and it all takes place over video chat. It's amazing. The comedy is just spot on. It warms my heart. So yes, those two are my favorite. I really love almost everything they've done. I love how Doctor Who comes back on itself, references old stuff. Those are the kind of shows I really like. Long-lasting shows that come back and give you something to think about. And it's like, wait, didn't I see that like ages ago? And yeah, I just recently watched a YouTube video by someone who did hey, these are 10 references and what seem like throwaway lines in an episode that are actually references to past shows. They actually have meaning if you know the history. If you watched them all. Some of them I didn't know because it went back further than I'd seen, because I'd only watched back through Christopher Eccleston. I had not watched back from the original and through the 70s series and all that. So any new shows you've been watching?
Not really. Trying to think.
Ooh.
No, but I watched Strays last night or the night before. Oh my God, Wendy.
Strays. Is it animated? What is this?
No, it's it is not for children. I'll tell you that. Strays is not for children. Okay. It's about dogs. This dog gets owner takes the dog, drops him off somewhere. It doesn't care about the dog, obviously, and that's it. So the dog tries to find his way back to the owner. And the adventure of him going back to the owner is hilarious.
Is this it's an adult movie, but is it like scary horror thriller?
No, you will laugh your butt off.
It's okay. It's adult comedy. Got it.
Yes. Oh gosh, it's so funny. I can't even like you know how dogs get freaked out about fireworks?
Oh yeah.
They go to a carnival and they're like freaking out because of the fireworks.
So you hear the dogs talk.
Yeah, the dog talks. And then there's this one dog that is at the carnival with his owner, and he's like a narrating dog, and they're like, "Okay, dog, no one's listening to you. Do you know where food is?" And he doesn't care. He's like, he keeps narrating. It's just, there's funny, really, really funny aspects of the movie.
Got it. I'll have to check. I'll have to look for that one.
I'll have to send you the trailer. It's hilarious.
Yeah, so I started a new one. I'm kind of a mythology, history. You know, we're what kind of people we are. We look at our antiques. We do things like that. There we go. Put a pink hue on the black and white checker. So I started a new series. I don't usually start new ones, but I was bored. There's been nothing. I am an incessant, obsessive viewer, and so and I like all sorts of history stuff, and so there's a new one out of the UK for the United States and the UK. It's called The Winter King. And this is a new retelling of the Arthur story. King Arthur.
Uh-huh.
Based on, I can't remember whose books. And it's interesting. I've got to admit, since Game of Thrones really got into, what would you call it? Violent portrayal of history or violent portrayal of whatever.
Uh-huh.
What can I say? There's a lot of rape and bloods and guts and gore. Actually, there was only one rape, but still, bloods and guts and gore.
Uh-huh.
But it's really interesting the way they're putting it together. There is less mythology to it, less and more like it's being done in historically. Less mythically and more historically, if that makes any sense. They're not doing dragons and magic like Game of Thrones. They got some magic in it because, well, Merlin and such, but it's less about that and set more like historically.
Now that's a series I used to watch as Merlin.
I haven't seen that one. I think I tried to watch it and I couldn't get into it, and yeah. Let's see. Get a little color strip right there. I think I'm gonna do the same on this screen.
Danielle was a Catwoman years ago. Oh no! Oh no, Danielle. I've had that happen.
I went trick-or-treating with some friends when I was younger, in my 20s, and it was a group of us, and one of them had kids, and the kid we were taking him trick-or-treating. We took him trick-or-treating in this little town close to us. It's a college town. It's called Ashland. I absolutely love Ashland. I loved going to school there, and I really wish I could go back. Anyway, we took the kids trick-or-treating, and he was like, I can't even remember. I want to say like 4. You know, he could walk and talk and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And he had those light up shoes, and it was excellent because we could see where he was once it got dark.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing is going trick-or-treating in Ashland, you never know what's going to happen. And the best thing in the world, they had treats for adults as well. They had vegetarian and non-vegetarian sushi. So you could, you grabbed a little, oh, there's a sushi bite for you for the adults. And it was like, yeah, baby. Oh, I love fun little things like that I remember. They just have made all the difference in what sometimes I look back on and feel like is a mundane life.
Usually the simple things are the best.
Yeah, and it's those little memories that you hold with you that will make you smile the longest. In all honesty, that little boy is the reason I wanted to have a kid, and the reason that I have my son, and the reason I'm so happy I have a son. The experiences I had with that little boy when he was that age just changed my entire perspective on the world.
Oh, cooperate.
Oh no, it's not cooperating?
Trying to make the miniature book.
Aha.
But the pages are acting weird.
I've heard a couple of different ways to make miniature books. Do you do the folded paper method?
I'm just piecing together whatever scraps I have around.
Yeah. So the way I've seen done is where you take a skinny piece of paper and you do the accordion fold on it.
Yeah.
And then you squeeze those together and put a nice little piece of paper on the outside, and that's your book.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Aha.
Yeah.
Turn that down just a little bit.
Sitting right.
I do love this kit. The other reason I wanted to do this card kit is because it has all these tickets printed on their pages. It's kind of like flowers and tickets.
That's cool. It's like a quilt.
Yeah, but it's made out of like game tickets and bus tickets. Let's see, Beach Bend Park, 1 ticket, 10 cents. Blackpool Court, prepaid ticket, Outward from Rotherham. And if I'm not mistaken, Simple Stories comes from the UK. I might be wrong. Let me double check on its thing and see if it says.
That I do not know.
Simple Stories. It has its website, www.simplestories.com. And I'm not positive. I don't know if this is, but a lot of the names on the tickets, I think, are British names. That I looked by, and that ticket, that looked very British to me. A lot of the Spectrum Art Creations is a licensed distributor for a lot of British paper companies and paper lines and these kind of embossing powders, glues, magical, whatever they happen to be. So sometimes they've got a lot of British-oriented, UK-oriented stuff going on, and words or places, and that doesn't hurt my feelings at all, personally. I love it. We just got done watching some YouTube videos that were absolutely insane, and they're all taking place in the UK, and we're like, damn, we wish we were there. That's nice. It gives it just a little bit of height.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Let's see, we think we're going to go yellow again. And then we're going to go to either blue or purple for a minute. I should probably plan out which color I want on each one, make a little pile, and then start tinting them. That way I don't have to keep changing the sponge. The blotter foam. Oops, I'm making a mess with that one because it's so skinny, so we need the paper.
Ooh. This is fancy looking.
What?
I'll show you in a minute. Let me cut it out first.
Ah. I found some parts and bits and pieces to things that I wasn't exactly sure what to do with.
A fancy book.
Oh, beautiful. Yes. Oh, yes.
I put lace on the book.
That's a good idea.
It's kind of fun looking.
After some of the pictures you showed me, I think I found some parts to do kind of what you were talking about with a few things. So I'm devising some future projects. I am gathering the parts for future projects based on images that you have shown me.
Oh, for the picture frame thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wendy. That'll turn out good.
I actually have a vintage frame I've tried to sell in the past, and it didn't sell. And then I thought I was going to take it apart and use it for something else. And now it's not the way it should be. And I'd like to find its parts to put it back together, but not always exactly how it goes. And yeah, so I'm, yeah. We'll figure that out. Oh, I found some more film edging to do. Yay! I know it was intense and tedious, but it looks so awesome.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Ooh, excuse me. Oh, that looks very good. Yeah. So I found some more film edging. This is what it normally looks like. It just looks like plain paper.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to try embossing that. I'm going to emboss that up like I did the other one. I love those edges done up.
I know, Danielle, you should wait. Wendy's sending me some vintage spools that she has, some wooden spools, and I was going to decorate with those for my Christmas stuff, for my Christmas line.
Oh, I didn't send you that many. I'll have to send you more.
No, just a couple. I don't need that many.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm not going to color this one. I'm going to do the color on the other ends. And I'm going to make it, if I do that, black and shiny. What color? What color?
I may turn this into a deer. I was playing with some stuff.
Let's do a little rusty hinge. Let's see if there's enough on there. Oh yeah, of course there is. Rusty hinges, always. Juicy. Juicy, 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 juicy. So juicy, I made a fingerprint. Not where I was expecting one. That's no fun. Oh well. It works. Where's my towel? There it is. No, it's all right. That's what pants are for.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
So I've determined that
Uh-huh.
since this is a wonderful kit system, that I'm not going to put together all of them. I will keep one that has a majority of the main shape components in it, and I will keep it unassembled. That way I can cut the same shapes out, the same size rectangles, the same size backing, the same circular size, so I can keep a consistency with it, because I know that these size of cuts, this also comes with the cards that you would assemble it onto. So I know that these keep a consistent size that will work with that size. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I want to keep some sort of consistency. And I'd like to be able... The size works, and I'd like to be able to do it again. Aha! Sorry, words are tough today, guys. I'm using too many of them.
So now that fall is here, I got so excited with everything that's pumpkin spice. I started buying stuff that was pumpkin spice when I went grocery shopping, and started trying them, and I realized I hate pumpkin spice. I guess I just like the smell of it.
Okay, so the word pumpkin spice is not... The way they arrive at pumpkin spice is to use something called allspice.
Uh-huh.
And that's what that pumpkin spice smell and flavor is that you're getting. Is usually allspice. Maybe a couple other little mixy things here or there. And then so that's what that flavor usually is that they're calling pumpkin spice. So you can add that to things as well. I'm with you. I never have been a big pumpkin spice fan. I do like pumpkin pie. I think the pumpkin spice has less pumpkin in it, and what we're looking for is a little bit of pumpkin flavor.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I love pumpkin pie shakes. That I like a lot. But
that's because they're using pumpkin. But when it's pumpkin spice, it's just like the spices they use to help flavor the pumpkin, instead of also having the pumpkin flavor in it as well. And I think it's a bit misleading. Yeah, pumpkin pie shakes from like Sherry's. You guys have Sherry's over there?
No.
Where do you go for your pumpkin pie shakes?
I make them myself.
Ah.
Because I can never eat a whole pumpkin. So usually what we do is we take the pumpkin pie, we slice it up, and then freeze them into chunks. And then when you want a pumpkin pie, you just throw it in the blender with some soy milk.
Nice. That's a really good idea.
Oh gosh, it's so good. Because you think about it, pumpkin pie is usually cheap. You can find it on clearance.
Oh yeah.
So you take it, you cut it up into blocks or squares or whatever you want to do.
The pumpkin pies, you mean?
Yeah, the pumpkin pies. Then you freeze the pumpkin pie bits. And then you can blend them in a blender and mix it with soy milk and ice cream.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
You could do that with any pie. Because I went to a pie place. No, what did I do? I went to a place that had shakes, and I love shakes.
Mm-hmm.
and they had made pie shakes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's perfect for using leftover pie because I can never
Yeah.
finish a whole pie.
So we have a restaurant here called Sherry's. It's a diner. It's a sit-down diner type place, kind of like a Denny's or an IHOP or something like that.
Yeah.
But they serve. They have you can get any meal all day long. And they have nice large portions. They're a really good place. I like their they have a vegetarian eggs benedict. It's eggs benedict
Ooh,
with avocado and tomato.
that sounds good.
Oh, it is. It's so good. I always have a problem when I go get eggs benedict. They always burn the ham slice, which I don't mind ham, and I'm not a vegetarian, but I have no problem making sure that to get my meal just right. I have no problem not ordering meat, especially if it's going to be avocado. Heck yeah. So, but their claim to fame, the big thing that they do is they're a pie place, Sherry's Pies, and a diner and pies. And you can buy a pie and take it home with you, a full pie. Or they will make you any flavor pie they have and turn it into a milkshake. And that's where I first learned pie shakes. Was from Sherry's. Okay, that section is done. I'm ready to move on to the next bits, but I need to color up. Okay, so now the tinier ones.
Do you bake, Danielle? I know you like to cook.
Oh, I love to bake. I'm dealing with selling and crafting this year instead of baking.
Ooh, what? Wait, what do you bake, Wendy?
Okay, so I make Divinity, which is a candy, a sugar-based candy. Very popular usually during Christmas time.
Uh-huh.
I love making brownies. I will be making brownies. Brownies come out of a box for me at this point. Someday I would love to make brownies from scratch. And then I want to try breads again, but I need a different bread recipe. I've been using one from a friend, and it's just too yeasty and it hasn't worked well for me. So I'd like to try a different type of bread recipe eventually.
To make what? Like a white bread or?
Loaf. I wouldn't mind some loaf stuff, and then I'd like to find my great grandmother's cinnamon roll recipe because I'd love to make cinnamon rolls again. I love making cinnamon rolls. And then Rice Krispie candy, really popular with me. I walked into a party, and there were a lot of younger people than I was. I was in my 20s, and they were trying to make Rice Krispie. Oh, I gotta trim the edges. They were trying to make Rice Krispie candy, and they had put it on the stove, and everything was just sticking, and they couldn't figure out the portion mixture, or this, that, and the other. And somehow I managed to save it, but that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody try and make Rice Krispie candies on a stovetop.
You mean like Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I have never seen anyone try and melt marshmallows on a stovetop.
That's how I used to do it.
Oh. For all of those out there, I'm going to give you the cleanest, quickest, and most mind-blowing way to make Rice Krispies you may have ever heard of. So, bring out your butter. Usually my butter's frozen and I've got to melt it. So I put everything on the counter. I put my box of Rice Krispies, my bags of marshmallows, and my cube of butter. Some people are butter, depending on how much butter you want to put in it, that's up to you. I know people are particular with their butter choices. Put your butter into a giant microwavable bowl, the biggest bowl that you have that will fit in the microwave. I have a bowl that practically takes up the entire microwave. It is one of the extremely large yellow Pyrex bowls. If I had one out here, I would show it to you, and I might, but it's buried and I'm not going to dig it out. The next thing you do is you put it in you put the butter in the microwave and you melt the butter. And you get it to where it's kind of clarified, which is where it kind of separates a little bit, and you can stir it back up and it'll be clear. If it's not, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just melt the butter. The reason why you want it melted is because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pour in all the marshmallows into the bowl, and you're going to mix them around and get them all nice and covered in butter. If you have an extra marshmallow, might I suggest dipping it in the butter, rolling it around, and eating it, because marshmallows smothered in butter is the most delectable thing I've ever eaten. Then you put it in the microwave. And I don't exactly know how your microwave works. I don't know exactly how long I do it. Usually I put it in and I start for like 5 minutes. And your marshmallows are going to get big. And you want them to like almost come to the top of the bowl. When I fill my bowl, usually the bowl is about halfway full. No, it's usually almost full with marshmallows. To 3/4, depending on your marshmallow count and the size of marshmallow you're using. You put it in the microwave, and you want it to like double in size. You'll notice it'll just start to grow, and the marshmallows will start to like band together. You don't want it to get it where it's explosive or anything, but you want them to get all the marshmallows to get nice and big and ooey and gooey. And then you pull it out of the microwave. Your bowl will be hot. Be careful. Sorry, I can't remember where the camera's at. I look at the computer, it doesn't do me any good. And then you pour your marshmallows in. I use a giant wooden spoon to do this stirring. You pour your Rice Krispies in and you start stirring it. Now you want to make sure before you start doing this that you have on the side some extra butter and a metal spoon, a large size metal spoon, not a bigger soup spoon, not a regular like small teaspoon thing. And then, of course, you have your pan, that your 9x13 pan that you're going to put this into already ready. And usually I line my pan with, I put a little butter in the inside of my pan to help the Krispies come out. You stir it all up real good. As soon as it's all mixed really well and you're happy with it, you dump it into your 9x13 pan, scrape the bowl out. It's got a lot of butter. It's usually got a lot of butter. You shouldn't have too much stickage behind. And then you use the back of the metal spoon with butter on it to pack and smooth your Rice Krispies into the pan. You have dirtied, in this process, one easy to clean bowl, one wooden spoon, one metal spoon. That's it. You take your glass or Pyrex type bowl, whatever you've got. You put it in the sink. You run hot water in it. You put a little Dawn, because you got to have something to break up the grease from the butter. And that thing's going to come spick and span clean. You don't have to worry about burning your marshmallows to the bottom of the pan. You don't have to worry about the temperature of your oven. And I'm sorry, but cleaning that bowl has got to be a whole lot easier than cleaning a stuck marshmallow off a metal pan. And that's Wendy's method for making Rice Krispies in a microwave.
Oh, you do, Danielle?
Oh, yeah.
See, I never use a lot of butter in my cooking because we didn't grow up with using butter a lot. We didn't need butter in our cooking, so I don't use a lot of butter.
So the other lovely thing I learned Oh, sure, Danielle. You want to know something extra yummy? You realize you can use like Dino Bites and Cocoa Pebbles. So you've got chocolate Rice Krispies you can use, or you can use Fruity Pebbles and you can have fruity Rice Krispies. Or Rainbow Krispies, however you prefer to call them. So don't forget, other cereals can be used just as well as Rice Krispies in that Marshmallow Madness mix.
No, when we used to make Rice Krispie treats, we would take my dad. He would make it. I don't know how you describe it. He would add peanut butter to it and then peanuts. Oh, it's so good.
Yes, I've heard of adding the peanut butter in there. I've heard, and I believe that is very yummy. I think I've had it once. I totally agree. A little bit of peanut butter in there. You can do amazing things if you know the peanut butter recipe. I know that for my mom, making Rice Krispie treats in the microwave with 2 kids was quick and easy and a nice little snack, and she could divide them down into like literally 1-inch bite-sized cubes so that she could manage our portioning. My mother was very careful to make sure we didn't get too much sugar. I am not that way with my son, and well, it's probably come back to bite me in the hiney. So my dad at the holidays, I really hope, I know they've got a lot going on, and I know that my father is declining mentally. He's been going downhill, declining mentally more and more recently, and so I'm really hoping that this year, before he's not capable, that he gets a chance to make his Christmas candies again. And my father has a caramel recipe, and he makes hard caramels, little hard caramel candies. And I would just love to learn it. And the other thing he would make is chocolate covered cherries. And they were so yummy. I didn't like cherries though, so he would make me special ones where he took, when you make chocolate covered cherries, you get maraschino cherries, you drain them, you put them in the freezer individually set out so they can freeze solid, each cherry on its own. Then while those were freezing, Father would make fondant. And it's not like the stuff you cover the outside of cakes with. It's a totally different type of fondant. And he would make that. It's this creamy looking thing. And you put this around the cherry so the chocolate has something to stick to. And I didn't like the cherry, so my father would make smaller ones, which were just fondant balls for me. And those would be chocolate covered fondants, and the other ones would be chocolate covered cherries. Cherries come out and you cover them in, each one in its own little piece of fondant, put them back in, freeze them again, melt your chocolate. Once they're frozen, you do your chocolate dipping, dip them in, pull them out, refreeze them. The reason my father could only make these during Christmas and the holidays was, one, it was the time he got off the most, and secondly, it was the only time when it was cold enough that we could keep them, because we had to keep them out in the garage. And I grew up about 4 hours north of here, and it's a much colder climate. It's usually about 10 to 15 degrees colder where my parents live. So they could make them and keep them during the holidays. And I always remember when we'd come this direction for Christmas, because we always would come to Medford for Christmas to visit everybody and celebrate. There was always a plastic container, a Tupperware container of chocolate covered cherries in the back. So
you think he'll make some for you this year?
I don't know. They're very busy. They also have a lot because they have to come over. They've been coming over here trying to clean up my uncle's place and get things situated. My mom says that her next thing after going through the stuff at my uncle's is to go through my grandmother's things that are here at this house, because I'm living in a house with I can't say large, and I don't even know if significant is the correct word. But I'm living in a house with my grandmother's stuff. One reason why the shelf behind me I can't fill with craft stuff is because it has a food dehydrator, a food processor, tons of vintage Tupperware, tons of vintage dishware, giant cook pots, kitchen stuff that I don't use, that was my grandmother's and just needs to be dealt with. There's a couple of closets that still have grandmother's clothes in them, a couple of doll cases that still have grandmother's dolls in them. So yeah, it's not like I'm living in a clean slate location. I'm living with my grandmother's stuff that my mother has not gone through yet. So that's why, yes, I'm a hoarder. Yes, I have too much stuff. I will admit I'm a hoarder. I will admit I have too much stuff. I will also say that being that way, I am acknowledging the fact that I have a lot. I'm trying to get rid of it. My largest problem is that doesn't stop me from bringing in more.
What do you think, Danielle or Wendy?
Oh, it's a crown.
Yeah, kind of patinaed it.
Yeah.
It looks better with it. It looks better.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the more extra colors things have, a little copper, a little green, a little teal like that, and then you add a little tiny bit of maybe a green to it, and you'll end up with making it look a little more aged.
Ooh, I gotta try.
That's the lighting is perfect. Oh yeah. That's cute.
It looked like this. It was this white before, but I think aging it looks a little better.
Yeah. Don't forget the glare and the camera change. It doesn't always show the best lighting for us. Right. Now that I got the paper trimmed off the edges, we can actually get down to tinting these things again. All right, let's get this going.
Oh, Danielle, it's okay for me to use your pictures on the early bird sale, right?
I totally understand, Danielle. I've ran across a few things here at the house, and I have no idea if my mother wanted to keep them or not, but I have stashed them away into some very safe places, and if she mentions that she's looking for them, or if she comes by and I happen to have a group of those items together, I'll show them to her. But yeah, I totally understand. I knew my great-grandmother as well. She lived actually in the house that is directly behind me, but they sold the house and built a fence between the 2 yards. I grew up running this quarter of a block when I came to visit in the summer times. it was hard when they sold great grandmothers. And I didn't get the opportunity to quote unquote rescue or keep a lot of anything out of grandma and grandpa's place, great grandma and great grandpa's place. Yes, I knew my great grandmother and my great grandfather. I was very, very lucky. And so I totally understand hoarding and having a very difficult time letting go of those things. Hold on to them. For me, as I find those things, I pack them down because I know that my living time here is not permanent. So I know that I need to be ready to go at some point. And I want to make sure that those special items don't get lost in the mix. So I pack them down early. Paint. Look at that. I'm watching you paint. And I said paint.
Oh.
So I pack them down early so that they won't be misplaced, lost, or forgotten. And yeah, I got very few items out of a couple of places. A couple of my grandmothers. Yeah. My family does not like my interest in an item's value. They think the only reason I have interest in its value is to turn around and resell it, or the only reason I have interest in its history or where it came from or the markings on the bottom is just because I want to turn around and try and sell it, or they think just because I'm interested in the value of something, it means I'm going to sell it. And that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you need to have interest in the value of something so you know if it's something that you need to get insured. If it's something that you need to protect most dearly. And I don't think my parents understand that aspect. But hey. It's tough enough figuring out our own heads, figuring out what they're thinking and meaning and their intent behind things, because they're not always upfront about it. It's so difficult. I've given up.
Yeah, but I learned I have to purge stuff, because if I purge it now, it'd be a lot easier later.
Yeah, if you don't have it now, then you don't have to worry about it later.
You can't take it all with you.
Yeah. Well, and I hope to downsize. I know I have to downsize. And I know that I have a lot of other big issues happening. I know that my friend has more fabric and she wants to get that done here. I know that my ex-husband is in the process of, my son's ex-husband is in the process of possibly leaving the state. And in their clean out, him and his current wife, her mother passed away and she was a professional artist. And he's like, I have all these art supplies I'm just going to throw away. Do you want them? And I'm like, well, bring them over here. I don't know if I really have space for all of what he has, but I will find a way to make the space. And if I've just got so much inventory now, or will have, that I really just need to keep making sure that, one, I'm doing things like this. I'm learning how to make new things in new ways so that I can maybe, if I have no idea what kind of paper I'm going to get from them. I don't think she did this kind of paperwork. I think she did mainly painting. So hopefully there'll be some watercolor paper. Oh, how I want some watercolor paper and some Yupo. And then those will be fun days of play for me with those items. But I don't know what's coming. I don't know. And for me, the next option is, of course, bringing it all out to you guys and going, hey, who needs these? Whatever I can ship, I will ship. I'm trying to hopefully prep to ship junk journal paper packs. That's one of the things I really want to start creating and getting out of here, because that is what I have a majority of. Paper. Fun paper. I have, and they're starting to disintegrate. I have no idea if I can get them to you guys or not. I have disintegrating giant books of a no longer printed railroad magazine about what's happening in the railroading world. It blows my mind, the things that I've found. I just want everybody to be as happy about them as I am, and be excited to purchase. I didn't this one.
Yeah, the more I purge, the easier it will get for me. Because I want to downsize everything.
Got it. You want to get into the traveling motorhome eventually?
No. I would never want a traveling motorhome. No.
Some people do, and I never know who's downsizing to that goal.
No, I'm downsizing because I just want to do different. I want to go on a different venture, I guess, in life. And I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids or anyone I could pass it down to. So I need to downsize everything.
Yeah. Get it down to where you're just happy with the little bits you've got to keep you entertained, making what you want to make. See, for me, I thought I like I said, my grandmother had given me my first embossing powders and block stamps, wooden stamps and all that stuff, the standard when it first started in like the early 90s. And I worked with it kind of, but I was young and I didn't know how to enhance my paper stuff. And then I'm here now, and I started selling. As a matter of fact, when I first started selling, I sold something. I didn't like the design. I sold a Martha Stewart edging paper punch set. It had the long and the corner, I think, or the long and the something, or anyway. And I sold it. And then I discovered Spectrum Art Creations and the things they were doing with paper now. And it blew my mind, and it got me right back into it. And here I am.
Did you end up having a garage sale, Danielle? I know you were having a garage sale or something. How did that go? Okay. What should I sell tomorrow now? Oh, just to let you guys know, next Tuesday, Wendy will be crafting on her channel.
Yes.
Oh, the weather has been crazy? Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, one of my next little things I want to try working on eventually. It's something that I work on spontaneously through the year, and that's my genealogy again.
Wow, you have a lot of projects, Wendy.
Oh, I have so many projects and interests. Yeah, it's too many, which is why everybody's like you gotta do less, you gotta have less. But I love going to my thrift stores, and I never know what I'm gonna find there. And I have tried to keep thrift stores to purchasing only things that go with stuff I work on, not starting anything new. Wendy does not do stained glass. Wendy does not need to start stained glass. Things like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I do try and make sure that I am keeping things within a consistent circle of interests. The one thing about the paper is that it's very wonderful because it can tie over into other things, like my genealogy. I can make a book. I can use creative paper, colorful paper. I can use these. I can draw a line with my embossing pen, and then I can put the stuff on it, and I can melt that, and I can have a distinct, something to really get my attention about where something's going. I can make beautiful things, and then when the family has interest, I have the ability to share and to show, and maybe even create something for them if they want something. This crosses over into my food and baking interests. My cookbook is falling apart. I have the ability now to make a beautiful cookbook and add to it whenever I would like, whatever recipe I would like. So yeah, for me, it crosses. I am an artist. I've taken so many art classes, it could make your head spin. So this crosses over into a lot of multimedia work I would love to be doing, and enhancing and bringing new techniques to old skills. So yeah, I'm I have way too many projects. I also play ESO, which is Elder Scrolls Online, for any of you out there that are video gamers. Since I got this new camera and this new mic set up, well, I don't have the mic set up with this camera at the moment, but I'm thinking I might want to try and see if I can stream my gaming, because one thing has always been true. No matter what I was playing, from a PS2 to World of Warcraft, the people in my life have always been amused by me gaming and my technique, my talking, my pronunciation of the places we're going or the names they've used, the way I talk back to the television, and the players who can't hear me, and NPCs, which for those of you who don't know are like non-player components or characters, which is just like the computer guys. It's like not another person online, but it's like the guys, the program that are programmed to be there. And it's amusing.
Oh, that's nice, Danielle. She says her great-grandmother made her a quilt and she'll never give it away or sell it. That sounds nice.
Yep. I understand. I have a couple and I don't understand how to repair them. They came from my mother's dad's sister, so my great aunt in Alabama. And I literally have a tub with like 2 quilts in it, and it's labeled Alabama quilts. And until they're repaired, or I find a way to repair them, that's exactly where they'll stay. So I understand a quilt is a wonderful thing to be able to have and to keep and to be able to hold on and pass down.
Yeah, I know, and the material they use is probably really nicely made.
Mm-hmm. And fun patterns and designs you will never see again.
Hmm. Oh, I saw a really cool thing. Someone took some vintage fabric
Mm-hmm.
and they starched it and turned them into ghosts.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Well, and sometimes when stuff gets repaired, Daniel, that just gives it more character too.
Oh, what's that Japanese? The way they repair porcelain with gold and ceramics with gold. That is such an
Oh yeah.
amazing and beautiful technique, and it really reinforces the whole the notion of just because it's broken doesn't mean it's not doesn't still have life left in it.
Hey Wendy, I'm gonna actually have to head out.
Whoop, yep, it looks like we are pushing the 2 hour mark, and it's about that time. We don't want to.
But you can keep crafting. This is your channel.
Oh yeah, I know. I might. I just know that let's see. That puts it at noon. Thursday noon. Why did I think I had something else I was supposed to do today? Grocery shopping.
You were gonna go try to see if you could see Spectrum do their class.
Oh, that's right. They have that class that they're doing. And I have the class to put this kit together, as a matter of fact. And I haven't seen the time posted, so
yes.
So
if you guys get a chance, tomorrow morning I'll be doing my regular live sale by myself. And I'll be doing my regular live sale by myself tomorrow morning. But Wendy, you're more than welcome to join me if you ever want to join me on a Friday.
I might. I know that I've got a few things that I'd like to I picked up a few things. I think I had them on Thursday sale. No, I had them on Tuesday sale. So
well, Tuesday you were gonna craft, you said.
No. I had them on last Tuesday.
Oh,
sale.
Tuesday, gotcha.
And maybe I should pop them up and just kind of show them again and do some chatting. I don't know. Maybe not. My brain's not always together when I think about I want to do these things, and then I realize that time rolls around and wow, that maybe wasn't such a good plan. So, I'll just put it on hold. If I see you in the morning, then you can send me a link and we'll work it out.
Okay. So tomorrow morning I have a live sale at 10:30 Central Standard Time on my channel. And Wendy may pop on, Chrissy may pop on, who knows. And then Sunday I have an early bird sale with Chrissy's Corner for Collectors. I don't know if we have a guest yet on Sunday. We'll let you guys know. We'll do a show and tell. We probably will show some people that have purchased some items because I got some wonderful pictures that I'll showcase. So don't forget, if you want to ever showcase something that you purchased from us or that you want to show off how you decorate, send us a picture on Instagram or on email. And then we can showcase you on the early bird sale on Sunday. So, but then the following week, Wendy will be doing crafting on Tuesday next week, Tuesday night on her channel. And then Wednesday afternoon, morning, I'll be doing a sale with Kraken Christine. That'll be on Kraken's channel. And then Thursday we'll do our regular sale, Wendy and I. And then Friday I'll do my solo, and then I'll do the early bird. So there's a jam-packed week next week for you guys. There's an extra sale.
So. Yeah, that's always fun having an extra sale in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. When I first started watching the resellers, that I could. It was it was gut wrenching waiting another, and I feel that way even to this day on some of the subscriptions I watch on YouTube or even for regular channels. It is gut wrenching for me to wait a week for
Right?
another episode, another chance to talk to the people that I have come to enjoy and call friend. And it's like, I have to wait. Oh, okay, I guess I have to wait.
But I may do a pop-up sale with Wendy in a couple weeks, only if she's interested.
I am always interested, you know that. As long
But
as
that'll be on a Saturday though, because I was thinking, I was thinking Wendy on the 21st, maybe. I don't. Oh, that's a lot. I don't know, but I may be able to join you when you watch your Saturday show.
Woo! Oh yeah.
But on the
yeah.
21st.
I might have to work on that.
So I'll let you know though, because that will be a crazy week for me.
Yeah, you let me know. I do enjoy the Spectrum Saturday sales. I do tend to win a few things in their games usually.
Yeah, right. You have so much luck. I watched a show at Wendy on Wednesday, and she won so many different things.
Now, some of the things you win, are at a discounted price. You know, they're in the game and they're special. And then sometimes you get chosen for the game, and you're guaranteed a free prize if you're chosen. And she does really good using the spinners and the stuff so that it's really fair. And everybody there is just so kind. It just, fun thing for me. It's just I have like I said, those issues, and it's nice to have a kind community, because believe it or not, part of avoidant personality disorder is just fear of not being accepted or liked. And I know that my personality can be just a little bit intense, and I really try and keep it mellow for you guys here online. So it's appreciated, the time I get to spend with all of you here, on our Thursday sales, on Chrissy's morning show, on you guys' early bird sale, and on the Spectrum Art Creation group. So I really appreciate all of you guys so very, very much. You help me move forward every time I pop on here and talk to you guys.
Oh, that's good to hear. All right, Wendy, we're gonna sign off.
All right, guys, have a great day, and we will catch you on Thursday.
No,
Thursday?
wait, no.
They're gonna catch you tomorrow, and they're gonna catch me next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, yes. So,
all right.
Or you might see Wendy floating around in the chat.
I might, float around in chat. Who knows? I might even do a quick little pop in and go, I'm going to craft, and I'm tired of watching television. There's nothing to watch. So you guys have to craft.
All right. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye.